Thanks to the witnesses for taking the time to be here with us today. I want to get to the concerns about the savings that you've talked about today. I also want to ask some questions relative to how you train and evaluate the success of the program, the costs, et cetera, how you administer it. But I think our chairman brought up some points I'd like to go into first and meddle a little bit, I guess, at this point. Kind of get personal. I pulled the 990s of each of your organizations for the most recent years that we were able to get to 2015. And so let me ask you just to respond yes or no, correct or false, to these questions. Ms. Veer, Carolina Health Centers indicated that the salary for the CEO was $198,000. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Mr. Gifford, for the AIDS Resource Center, it was indicated that the salary for the CEO was $350,000. Is that correct?
That is cash compensation, yes.
Okay. Cash compensation, okay. Let me ask Mr. Paulus, mission listed at $1.6 million approximately?
I assume that's correct.
Okay. Mr. Rowland, John Hopkins lists for that year $2.6 million.
I also have to assume that's correct.
Okay. And then Ms. Banna, it's listed for Northside at $2.8 million.
That's correct.
For that year. Okay. Let me plumb a little bit more here, going back to the net assets for each of your organizations at the end of 2015. Northside, Ms. Banna, $1 billion net asset, net income, $157 million.
That's correct.
Is that correct? Mr. Rowland, John Hopkins listed at $1.3 billion, net income $80 million, almost $81 million.
That's correct, about a 3.6% operating margin.
Okay. Mr. Paulus, mission is listed at $1.4 billion, net income $102 million.
Sounds right.
Okay. Mr. Gifford, your AIDS Resource Center, $12.7 million.
That sounds correct, and it's just a fraction of what our financial advisors are suggesting is necessary to assure
The net assets of $12.7 million, correct. Ms. Veer, Carolina Health Centers, $7.7 million net assets?
That sounds correct, yes.
Okay. Just wanted that for the record. Again, there are certainly explanations and extenuating circumstances and other things that I'm sure you could share with us on those issues. But it's good to have those factors in, especially when we're talking about entities listing saving over $100 million annually through the program. The program's grown rapidly in the last decade, and it seems like it will continue to grow. So those figures are important. In the area